we have tried to implement a linear regression using NumPy here. So let me quickly run each of those codes. So uh, these are the packages which we are using, like NumPy for mathematical operations, Pandas for data handling, and these were the two packages. Like one was like Matplotlib for plotting 2D plots, and similarly MPL Toolkits is also within Matplotlib. So where it gives you 3D plots. So let me run each of them. So these are data points which we try to like we want to get a linear regression for these points. So let me do that. Okay, so initially just we have defined x0 as one more variable which was given as 1, and the x1 is there, and you have y here. So this is a train, and initially we have taken theta as 0, theta naught and theta 1 here. So next step would be, so next we have defined a loss function. As I told in last session, like we are, instead of taking RMS value, we only take mean square value. So it will be like sum of squares. Okay, so this will be our error, and to make an average, like divided by n is also there. So and just for our convenience, we also because like when we do derivative for square term, you'll be getting 2 into x, right? So just for that, to take out the 2, we also divide by 2. As it is a loss function, it wouldn't matter, because like we only concerned about the gradient of it, like derivative of it. So let me, this is a loss function which we have used. It's the same thing what we have implemented here. Okay, 2 into n, input is like y actual, I gave it as input 5, and then dot product of x into theta, right? So this is square, and then whole we are summing it up. Okay, so this is a loss function. So once you give a loss function, you'll be getting some value of it. So after that, so this is our gradient descent algorithm, right? So this is what we want to implement here. So same implementation what we have done here, we are implementing it here. So sorry, it is actually minus in this place, like which we have implemented here, you can see. So what alpha, like theta into old theta minus alpha into gradient descent, like gradient, which will be the entire term. Okay, so that is implemented here. Okay, x into y minus y theta, this one. Like the derivation of these values were available.
Kochapa.
So derivations of these values, these formulae is available in our notebook. I can like you can refer it again. Okay, so once this formula is being implemented, next thing is, like in case we pass these values like x, y, and theta, you will be getting a value, like the new theta value, right? So let's see how we are going to implement this. And I also wrote a functions for like plotting these two lines. Means this plot dot scatter will actually give you those value, like plot which we have represented before, right? So this is actually plt dot scatter, and you give x and y values here, you'll be getting this plot. And if you do like plt dot plot, then you'll be getting a straight line, like joined line, not the dots like what you got in scatter. You'll be getting a continuous line. So and for this, like what you should have to plot in this is the predicted values, which will be x into theta, right? So means theta naught plus theta theta 1 into x1, something like that. So that we are computing for each of the values here. So this is a single line for loop which you can use it. So the value, it will be taken, like each value of x value is taken here, and that you can get computed, and it will be stored in a list. Okay, try out and then you can find it. So this is one more thing. Okay, stop running from here. Let me run here. Okay. So this is again like 2D loss function where we are plotting a loss function in 2D. Like it's a list we are plotting. So and I have moved this code, like entire code what we have written in a for loop, to a kind of a function called train model. Okay, so inside we'll be giving x, y. Alpha is like how much, what is a learning rate what we are using, and then number of iterations it should run, means like for loop. Okay, so here inside this is very critical. We'll focus. We'll focus. So here what it is saying is like for each iteration, like it's just a for loop. In 1,000 times it will run inside a loop where what it will do is first initially it will compute a gradient descent. Okay, means like you have x, y, theta, and alpha, like learning rate, and as we have defined a formula here, it will compute the gradient descent and it will give you the new theta value here. Okay, for that new theta value you are calculating the loss function, like what will be the loss function, and we are storing it in a list. Okay, so these are just for plotting purpose. Actually this theta equal, this part would be enough, but just for our plotting purpose we are also calculating list loss again, and we are storing that loss in a list. So and next what we are doing is this plot, we are plotting it like this x, and this is like we are plotting with x1 to y, because x0 is anyway 1 always, right, like which we have defined it ourselves. You can see here x0 is always 1, which we gave it ourselves, it's not there available before. So uh, with x1 to predicted value y, uh, input value y, like we are making this plot. Okay, so and theta, and similarly this we are doing it every 100th iteration. If you can see here, this is every 100th iteration we are doing it. So and finally what we are also doing is once all the for loop like 1,000 times is done, then next step is like what we are doing is we are plotting again one more thing like the same way, and next thing what we are doing is we are also plotting a loss function, and let's see how it going to do. So let me run this function. Now it is defined, so let's run. So we can also see the learning process through this curve. So initially when we gave like theta naught and theta 1 as 0, it was showing some line like this. Okay, so and for that actual like dot or dots, if you can see, this is our actual data, and after some time like you are getting uh, like with the thetas what it has learned, you are getting some line like this. This is, if you can see, it is not actually accurate, right? So we it will run again, like we have kept it for 1,000 times run, right? So after I'm plotting again after 100 terms. Okay, so if, after seeing this, see this is a plot after 100 turns, like where it has changed the theta values 100 times, and it has given something like this. If you can see, this is slightly better compared to previous one, right? If you see, this is completely not aligning with your dots. If you see, this is slightly coming towards us, and after like 200 iterations it is again like coming slightly better, slightly again better. If you see, again better. See, if you can see, let me do one small thing here. So here actually scale is getting changed like every time, like 25, and then it's aligning with, now it is 25. Okay, but previously it was 20 this way. So you are not seeing actually the red line being moved, actually the red line is getting moved. So let me add those two things again here. So it will actually fix the axis. Okay, so okay, from when x we are talking from 0 to, let's put it like 30, and similarly y value is like always positive in this case, but let's put it like minus 10 to 100. Okay. Okay, let me run it again. So here actually we are fixing this x-axis and y-axis, like where it should be. Okay, now we can see some kind of change here. So if you can see now the red line is moving towards the dots, right? So after 400 times running it, after 500 times, 600 times, 700 times, 800 times. See, if you see, this is where we stopped, right? Like 1,000 times we stopped it. You can see the error between error like from each of the point to the predicted line, like it's very less, right? This is what we are actually expecting. This is our objective function. So it has been like, well, like learned from there, right? Like this is what we say, like model has learned the parameters. So you can also see this gradient loss function. We have like for each of the iterations, we have stored those loss function. So it started from 0 here. Okay, slowly like it's going and so on, so on, so on, till like 1,000. It was coming. At least I can say it is like 10 or something, right? Like you can say it has decreased till 10. If we can like let the curve go on for some more iterations, it may even go to 0, or maybe it can stop there, like that we have to see only through, while we run it. If you see if it is getting flattened, then we can't, it says like it, we can say that like there is no more possibility from getting it more. Or if it is decreasing slightly, again if it is in some slope like this, it means it can still go further down. Okay, so this is one kind of plot which can interpret if it is learning or not. In case if your loss function is not going down like this, or it is going like this, something like this, so it means it is not learning, and you have to change your model, or maybe decrease your learning rate or something. Okay, so this is what we try to plot in the end. Like, okay, this will be much older one, so let me run it again. So this is slightly older. Let me delete this. Actual one, what we saw it is over here. Okay, so these are our old, like which we have already seen it from that. So let's not go into this. So these are the things which we can do, right? So apart from this, I can also show something like a 3D plot, which I have plotted on top of the loss function here. Let's take the same function here. So before that, let me move all these functions to a class. Okay, so because we can reuse it later as well, right? So I actually have done it here, where I have moved all these functions to a class, and I defined it as a class. So let me take the same and use it here. Okay, I ran it and I have defined. So, and with that, I'm calling this class by using this name. So now I can use it. Let me add this train part here. Like where I did not implement this train part in this. So instead I wrote it like it is within this, like you don't have to implement again. So I kept this for loop inside this gradient descent itself. So that's okay, like anything is same. So like each function we are calling it using self dot. Okay, you can see self dot, and then I call this function here inside. So something like this. So, and if you plot the 3D plot, it will come something like this. So this is again like your loss function, which was plotted against your theta naught and theta 1 to the loss function here. So in this case, like what is happening is like For the thetas like which were far away, like point theta is like 40 and so on, your loss is very high. This red will represent a higher loss and dark blue will represent a lower value of loss function. So if you see this red, like if you go further here for your theta and like theta naught, your loss value is very high. So it should not, and if you come closer down, so slowly it is decreasing. So if you can see here, it's slowly coming to white and then to blue. It means it is decreasing. Okay, so it is decreasing. Some point here at theta is like somewhere near to zero, and like your theta naught is somewhere nearer to this minus these values. You got dark blue value, and after that, like again, if you increase your theta, again like theta naught and theta 1 values, it will start increasing. And like for in case if you plot it further, again this side it will increase to a higher values. So this is what we were discussing in our lecture sessions. So your loss function will be something like a U kind of shape, where you will have like optimal point at the tip here. So this is a tip point like which we are trying to find using our linear regression. Okay, so that is what about it. So next step would be, so till now we have plotted for like a single variable. In case if you want to go for a multi-variable, so how we can do it is, so I have taken this time, I have taken a data set publicly, which is publicly available. So let me run these things. Okay? Just a minute, let me run it quickly. So this is again like some data set. So in this case, like what I have done is I have generated data set myself. You can see here, but this time I'm not generating it. I am going to use like a data set which was publicly available. So in case if you are wondering where to get like data sets, you can go to Kaggle. So this Kaggle is actually a very nice website, like where you can, they will host like competition. Like you can go to compete and see. These are like few competitions which are like data science oriented, which you can, where they will provide you data, and if you can solve you can like solve it and like submit your analysis or like predictions on top of it. And you can, in case if your predictions are very accurate, you and like is like getting top score, like you can get like prize money as well. So these kind of things were available, but let we in our case, like we are using only like data set. In this case, like I have gone to one of the competition, where if you go to the data section, you have a data for those available here. Okay, something like this. So similarly, just for a relevant case, like I have okay, what is happening here? It is still running. Okay, okay, fine. Let it run, like it will be done next. Okay, so what I have taken is, there is a data set on Bangalore house prices. So I have taken this data set, where which is actually much relevant to the example which we are talking about in terms of linear regression, where your it is about rent value, I guess, or no, it's a flat value like purchase. So based on area type, on availability, and your location, and then size of your flat, and then society. So all these like area here, and number of bathrooms and balcony. So these can be the factors which will impact your flat cost price. Okay, so selling price. So these can be factors here. Now earlier we have taken only one of the factors, but now let's take few others. Like initially, let's take these three. So square feet, bathroom, and then balcony, and let's try to predict the price. So we can see, let's see like what issues we will be getting, and what factors we have to consider while doing a multi variable linear regression. Okay, So actual implementation would be similar. So okay, this is taking a lot of time. So let me, I think this 3D plot is taking time. Like I have get, get like I made it to plot for like a lot many variables, I guess. So okay, so let it take time. So by the time I'll add it here, let's do it in the other notebook, which was working well. So okay, so here let's take multivariable linear regression. Okay, so and then this, let it be the heading. So thing is, let me take this data set and read it here. Okay, so df dot head. So you got all these values. So in these values, like let's take only the numerical part, numerical values. We can see how to deal with uh, these kind of values, like which were, we call it like categorical values. We will see it about that later, like how to handle that for using it for learning. Okay, so as of now, let's take only these three. Okay, and also final prediction should also be there, right? So let me also take raise dot head. Okay, so if you see, these are the things which we are taking. So this looks like similar, right? You can take it like x1, x2, x3, and then you are trying to predict a price, right? So this is similar problem, if you can see this. So in this case, what we can do is like just like before. Okay, so we only have 1 minute left. Uh, let's continue till when it ends, and then we can start in the next meeting. So for this, what we can see is like if you see dot shape. Okay, not this. Let me take data. Call it data df equal to not the head entire thing. Let's do this copy. Okay. So it was like you have, this is like slightly very large data set compared to whatever what we have used earlier. So earlier one was like which we have made it only for like 20 here, 20 columns, 20 rows. But now if you see, we have like 13,000 rows in this. So okay, this is like very huge. So okay, but let's continue with that. And you can see there are like four columns here. So which were these four. Okay, so our theta, like let's remove this like price. Like if you take our x variables like are like 3, right? So for these 3 again, like we'll be taking this x naught anyway. So let's also put this x naught here. X naught equal to 1. Okay, so and then what will be the data here shape will be 5, because it will add like one more column x naught. So for these values, next step would be like define train-x. If you have missed the last session of singular variable, again it anyway it will get covered in this, so don't worry with that. So what we will be taking is the columns what we have, will be taking those columns list from not x1 this time, it will be this. Let me copy the column names. Okay, So this is our x. So if you can see, like what we have done here is, so we are making this x in a kind of numpy array. If you do dot values, you'll be getting those values as a numpy array. And similarly for y, and we are also defining what will be the theta shape. So these are the things which we should be doing at first. Okay, let's make it dot values. Similarly, train y is data df, and inside it will be price. Okay, dot values, and now the theta would come. So theta, initially we are making it all zeros, but how many theta should be there? Let's see, theta naught, theta 1, theta 2, theta 3, right? There should be 4 in total. So 4 comma 1, this should again be kept inside a bracket. So this is a shape which we are giving it like this, so that let's run theta and then see what theta you'll be getting. So if you run theta naught, theta 1, theta 2, theta 3. Okay, so we have defined the 4 here, and what will be the prediction y is, this is x into theta, right? Like from the thing like what we have done. So it will be, we can write like np dot comma theta. Okay, so okay, so what is it saying? You can't multiply sequence with the float. Okay, so let's see what is it. So if you can see, this there will be so many challenges with real-time data set. So where you have to do some kind of data cleaning and such kind of things. I'm thinking to go for like we'll be talking about that in further next sessions. So let's take a cleaner data set. Maybe this particular one is not so clean. Like there, we need to do some kind of pre-processing steps to make it well. So let me do one thing. Let's use the same code here, and maybe some column, something like this, and then we'll do. Okay, but the process would be same. It shouldn't change anything. Okay, so here at this level, okay, after this, let's put data here. So let's also take some more column. This time I am defining x2 equal to, it need not be with x1 anyway. 100 plus, and then I am doing random values from here. Okay, it can be just df, length of df. Let it not. So what I'm doing here is I am generating a value from 0 to 10 randomly and adding some 100 to it. Okay, so and next part is then y. We also have to define y, right? So for that y, I am adding some value here. So 4.7 into data df of x2. Okay, let's see what will be getting. Okay, so did we do anything wrong? Yeah, yeah. Like we are talking now at data df, right? So if there is a df, it will give this. Okay. See, like now what we have done is we have taken few values. Like we are taking x1, we are taking x2, and we are getting a y here finally. Okay. So these were the two columns which we have, and with that we have to predict a y here. Okay, so you we can't plot it directly like in a 2D plot with x1, x2, and y, right? So we need a kind of a 3D plot for it. But let's focus on something like, okay, let's plot it. Like we already have a function. Okay, it's not readily available. We need to do some changes to it. So okay, so what we'll do is we have x1, x2, and we have like think it as like you have area, you have some area and like number of bathrooms or something like this, and you have price for it. Some you can treat it like this. Okay. So next step would be you can use the same row here. So we have like only 20 rows and 3 columns here. Now we are adding this x naught. Okay, now we got like added one extra column. It is just one. So our next step would be okay, yeah, because we added these things, right? Now it will be just x1, x2, only that. Okay, so our price is not there. We only have y here, and your theta size should be now theta naught, theta 1, theta 2. There will be only 3 here. So this will be our theta. Okay, so okay, sure. I actually kept tab far. So how is it now? Like, is it audible?
Yeah.
Okay. So taking this, you can see now this time it has run well. So where you have train y dot shape, if you take, it is 20 of 1, which is like each row you are getting some value. Okay. Similarly, when predict y, you're, let me do these two, and then let's forward. Okay, so you are multiplying these two, 20 cross 3 into 3 cross 1. You'll be getting 20 cross 1 as your output matrix when you multiply both. Okay, so after this, like next step would be to take the same functions what we have done here, right? We have to take those, and then like these loss functions are already defined. So the next part would be just to do the train. Okay, so let's see this, what we are going to get. So would anything else change? Nothing else, right? So next step would be just this. You are giving these things. Let's run. Okay, so what is it saying? Oh, did we define theta inside a function somewhere, or somewhere there is a theta which is blocking it? So where it is taking a global value or there? Let me run theta. Okay, this is fine. Yes, it is here. It is here. This is an issue here. So where we have defined theta as like 2 comma 1. So instead, what we'll do is we'll move it here. Let's we can't call it input theta now because it's already, we have to change in many places. Okay, so and okay, it's like this. Let us see. So we only need this function to be running. Let's see if it will run here. No. Yes, it's running, but we are actually, oh, it gave very crazy output here. So okay. See, you can see it's not performing well at all. Let's take one thing. Like I'll take this thing. I'll keep it for it. Both are same implementation, but when it is in class, right, you won't get uh, what you say. Like maybe some value what is implemented here may be taken from outside, such kind of issues can come up. So let me run with this. Okay, so once you are running with this, here the plots won't be of much use because we need to plot from x1 as well and x2 as well. So in this case, like plot won't be of much use. Okay, there is also a problem here would be because we have fixed the fix here, right? No, yeah, if you see, we are plotting here within this range. So, and like for those we have given ticks like this, and then it could not be able to plot well. Okay, let me do it again. If it doesn't work, then we'll go for class. Okay, this time slightly you can see a better scatter plot here, but this doesn't contain our output because like we have defined that function only to plot between x1 and y, so that is an issue over there. But you can see the loss function is also not doing well. Okay, you see the loss function is completely doing opposite, so there is an issue with this code. So let's go with this code here, because this is only kept for theta naught and theta 1, right? You see, but if you see our case, like it's we have like theta naught, theta 1 and theta 2 as well, so that may be an issue. So while plotting where we did not find the red line, so that may be an issue for it. But let's try to solve, adopt it to whatever values we have. So instead of doing it like this, we are doing x theta, right? So theta naught, theta 1, all these things are not required. So we can directly get why this is not required. Directly y predicted would be np dot, this is data x, right? Data x into theta. Okay, let's make it list this, just to not to disturb like earlier flow. So let's make it list. So and similarly x value as well, let's put it as a list of data x. So it will actually, when you keep an NumPy array, it will plot. But now the concern would be for plotting these two, the data x actually is of a different dimension. It's not like just earlier what we did is we only plotted x1 over there, but plotting only x1 wouldn't give us like any better value. Okay, so we have to plot what you say, like with x0, x1, x2 as well, so that further like this particular plot won't be much useful. So let's, what we'll do is, let me run this code. Okay, after running, let's take the actual code for running. Okay, we have to run it using this new theta and history. So okay, I think we have taken this code before, but linear regression functions. So let's run it now. Okay, theta naught and all those initialization again I'll put here so that nothing gets disturbed. Okay, so let's run it. So number of iterations, let me take it from here as well. So those things just I kept it here so that in case it is directly on a function, right, you may not be aware like what it is. So okay, it has run. I'm suspecting now if it has run well. So let's see the shape. Okay, 3, 1. is nan. So there is some issue with the code. There should be some issue with the code here. So let's print at least, is it going for iterations or not? Okay, it's going for each iterations. So the next step, like what we should be seeing is, let's also see JS tree first, then maybe we can see losses tree. So here you got some values. Okay, but why it is going into nans is it's being, you see like the values are going to infinite here. Okay, so that is why we got this issue. So let's do one thing. Let me put, see now this is slightly sensible. So this is like one issue. I thought like okay, this is one issue like which I thought I'll like introduce to you in further sessions. But here, if your alpha learning rate is not good, okay, like your values would explode. Like you can see the loss function. You may, like, let's treat some graph like you right here. So it has went to something like boom, like somewhere far. So now what I have done, I have reduced the learning rate to some smaller value, very small value. Then if you see, we are able to get values in some decent range, right? You can see it is learning here from 2000, it has come till 2.98. Okay, that's a very good improvement. So let's see how plotting of these things and all. Let's plot the loss value, then we can see if it is learning or not. That is the first thing, right? So dot plot loss function of loss history. If you are plotting this, then we will be knowing okay, this because your range is like this, right? So because of which you got like straight from 2000, we went to some 30 or something, right? So that's why you got this kind of graph. So from 231 2000, you got it to 50 in the very next step. So that is why this issue. So let me plot uh, skipping the first one. Okay, so let's see now. So now you can see there is a graph which is like similar to how we get earlier, right? So it means it has learned well. Okay, now the problem is when you change the learning rate to higher value. Let's also see theta before that. So what is a theta you are getting is this, which means theta naught, theta 1 and theta 2. In case you have a new x, okay, so let me say I want it for x, let me give you new point x is something like means x1 x2, right? We only have x1 and x2 here. If you see our plot here, we have only x naught we added. Usually it is x1 and x2. Okay, so this one, if you see, so I want it for some other new value. You can get it. Let me put it like 1 comma 25 comma something like 500 for these kind of values. In case if you want to get the new plot, so make it, means predicted plot, make it as an array, and then theta, we already have new theta, right? New theta is already available, so it will be point x into new theta. Sorry, we have to do np dot. Okay, so point x, let's see what is the shape of this. So actually what is this is like we need it in 3 comma 1. It's currently in 3. So what we should be doing is dot reshape -1, 1. If you put this -1, usually it will add 1 here, and inside of -1, in case if you don't know, here we know it is 3, we have to put 3 here. Okay, and we do, it will work. Let me do that now. If you see, it's 3, 1. Okay, so but next part would be like, in case if you are having 4, again if you change it to 4, that is slightly hectic, right? So you can put it -1, so automatically it will take what value it needs. Okay, so let's solve this issue. What is the issue here? So let's put theta is also 3, 1. So you can't multiply 3, 1 to 3, 1, right? So it should be 1, 3. So which should be 1, 3 here. So instead of 3, let's put it -1. So then it will. Oh, again. So 1, 3. Then what's an issue now? I don't see an issue at this point. So let's do it in the next line. So here we have it 1, 3 and theta. Let me move this here. Dot shape. Okay. So 1, 3 into 3, 1. Usually we should be getting. Yeah. The issue is here. We put dot into instead of dot. So okay, if you see here, we got y as some value 2528. So this is the prediction value, final prediction value. Okay, so this is how we will be getting our values. Okay, so this is how we'll be getting the prediction. Okay, so just a moment, I'll Okay, so this is how finally we are able to learn the theta. So I'm not drawing graphs for each, like we can do the graphs for each x1 and x2 separately. Then we'll be getting like what we saw in like linear regression, like single variable linear regression. But even for a multi variable one, it should be similar. Okay, this is what I'm going to say here. So this has covered this topic, but in reality, while you are applying it in reality, usually you don't have to code all these. So you don't have to code any of these. Like these are already available directly through a few libraries. One of them, one popular one would be a scikit-learn library. So which may even have a better implementation than this. This we have implemented it ourselves. So scikit-learn is like very useful library in case of like classical machine learning. So if you can go to this regression part, so there is also a documentation for each of these available. Okay, so let me directly search that and skip to what we want. So scikit-learn machine linear regression. Okay, so if you see here directly, we can all these models like is still the same, right? Even for our case, in case once you define this class, next part would be similar, right? Next part is what we are doing. We are only doing this part like this, only just doing by this thing, like we are going to learn the data, learn from the data. So same thing over there as well, where they implemented those values in a linear regression like this, linear model dot linear regression, and you call that model, and you'll be doing dot fit, like just like you can see here. So you have x and y values, and you are doing dot fit and x and y, just like we have done dot gradient decide x y, and we also give theta alpha and alpha, all those things. Even those things will be available within this. So if you do dot fit, you are going to get the model here, which is this theta. uh, Let me show here. So the final one, what we are going to get, right? So those parameters, these theta values and all will be stored within that. So those, if you want to, for a newer value, you can do dot predict and then give the new values. You are going to get the prediction value. Okay, this is how we are going to do here. The same thing which we have implemented is also similar, but maybe we have implemented it only for a linear regression. But here, similar thing he will be implemented for many different algorithms. We'll also see this, but it is always good to learn by ourselves, like how the internally these things works. So that is what like all this session till now focused on. Okay, so this is about it. And then if you do dot fit, see, like there are like few parameters which you can give it by yourself. So we'll anyway look into it. There will be like many challenges which we will get, like which we will be facing while doing this multi-variable linear regression, which will let's see those part tomorrow. Okay, so that's it for today. Let's see tomorrow with like few more topics. But I recommend looking at these values because these will be interesting. Like the same things what we told, but what we discussed, but it will be these two lines, just these three lines, right? So they have called the class here, and then dot fit. They have done this dot fit, and then the next step is did the prediction. Just these three steps are actually enough for doing this linear regression. So all this math is just to understand what we are doing by ourselves, but actually even the scatter plot and all, like we have implemented these parts as well, right? So we will be getting some value like this, and in case we want to get the thetas from there, so there is something like this is a model name like regression. They have added it like this dot cof. If you put this way, you are actually getting the theta values. You can see the output down. Okay, it is given for download. Once you download, you can run it. Okay, so this is about the scikit-learn. So let's talk about like what challenges we'll be facing about with multi-variable linear regression tomorrow.